What is going on YouTube? How's it going? James Owens here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Happy Monday. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you had an amazing weekend. I personally had an amazing weekend, spent a lot of time at home. Obviously with us being 2 weeks out, we don't want to, do anything to kind of disrupt prep, but I'm doing absolutely well, man. Fatigue is pretty high right now. I've noticed a lot of like dizziness and lightheadedness, but other than that, prep is going absolutely amazing. The purpose of this video is to kind of just do like an overall overview of how my prep started, how it's going, and kind of just like the ins and outs of my prep, specifically my nutrition, my training, and we'll go over some of my check-ins as well. But the goal of this video is to just kind of provide information on how prep is for me personally. Maybe you all can kind of gain some insight based on my experiences with prep. If you're interested in prep yourself, this video may help you kind of understand the ins and outs of prep, how prep goes, some of the aspects that are involved with prep. But I hope you guys do enjoy the video. I hope you guys actually learned something from the video. I got my coffee here, so I'm ready to sit and talk to you guys for as long as I need to kind of just explain to you like how prep is going and things like that. But thanks for returning to my YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in. Let's go ahead and get started with another amazing video. Officially, I did start prep late June. About June 26th is when I started prep, and I was at about 188 pounds when I started. This morning I actually weighed in at 166, so I've lost about 22 pounds since June. And I mean, honestly, prep is going great. I know a lot of people there's a lot of misconceptions with prep. Food has been pretty boring, but there are a lot of things that I do differently. If I get bored with some of the food that I'm eating, without getting too much into it, just changing the way things taste, texture, stuff like that, has really helped me with prep and eating like the same foods over and over again. Going back to June, like I said, I was 188 pounds. When we started prep, I was eating about 2,140 calories. I'm looking at my laptop, so if you see my vision shift, I'm not paying attention to you. I'm just referencing my data sheet. Obviously, I don't remember every single thing from when I first started prep, but I'm using my laptop. I got all my data and everything pulled up for you guys, and I'll make sure it's like posted, on the screen somewhere so you guys can kind of follow along with me. But yeah, June 26th, I was 188 pounds, my very first check-in. Yeah, so I think for like the first 2 days, you can see I was 1957 calories, but for the most part we held on to 2,140 calories, and that was broken down to 200 grams of protein, 200 grams of carbs, 60 grams of fat, and we held on to that for a long time. I was in the beginning, my mindset with prep was kind of the same mindset that I had last year, and I don't know, I was dedicated to my prep. I was dedicated to being on the show, but I don't know, my mindset changed at some point during prep where I just wanted to be better and be great. And I knew that even though we had this implementation that I could be 5 grams over or under, my mindset just shifted and I started hitting my macro goals like on the dot, with no room for error, no room for cushion, right? So kind of moving through June, moving through July, moving through August, my macros didn't change. I maintained the 2,140 calories for that entire duration, still maintaining the 200 for protein and carbs, and then the 60 for fat. And we held on to those numbers for a long time. And my weight just continued to decrease. There was a short period of time where I had to do some training for the Army. I left for about a week, and Coach and I decided that would be strategically a better opportunity for me to just have like a diet break. Yeah, we were a couple months deep into prep, and we were pretty far away from our stage weight, but just based on like the training times and things like that, it was challenging for me to stay on target with my nutrition. So we were just like, hey, let's just take a diet break, enjoy some foods, don't get too crazy type deal. And my weight increased a couple pounds from when we started to when that diet break ended, and that put us at the end of August. At the end of August, we did reassess. We got right back onto our macros that we had prior to my diet break, and then we held on to those pretty much until like mid-September. Once mid-September hit, we saw that, my scale weight was going down, but it wasn't moving down, as quickly as we wanted it to. So we adjusted our macros a little bit. We typically, when you're in the prep, the first thing to go should be or is your carbs and fats. You rarely want to take away protein. One, because protein sources are typically what keeps you full. And then obviously protein is one of those. Protein is the macro that you kind of want to hold on to the most during prep. So we held on to the 200 grams of protein, and we dropped carbs from 200 to 160, and then we dropped fat from 60 to 48. Now those macros we held on to pretty much up until this last week, or maybe 2 weeks ago, can't really remember. But 1872 was the new calorie goal. And then, like I said, 200 grams of protein, 160 grams of carbs, and then 48 grams of fat. But like I said, recently, I think it was last week, we actually dropped even more. Right now, I think, here, I can just check. I haven't changed it on my data sheet yet. Like I said, because I think this happened we changed this on like Monday. So our new calorie goal is actually 1722, and that's with still maintaining those 200 grams of protein, 136 grams of carbs, and then 42 grams of fat. So yeah, that actually caused us to drop, a good amount of pounds within a week. As you can see here, I haven't logged this past week yet, but like I said, I weighed in this morning at about 166.7. So we lost 3 pounds this past week just by dropping those calories a little bit more. And like I said, that came in the form of the carbs and the fats. So yeah, prep is going absolutely great right now. Like I said, there is, fatigue is actually higher, which is to be expected. You're consuming less calories, you have less food to fuel the same amount of activity that's expected for you. So cardio is the same. We're doing about 300 calories burned for cardio every training day, and then every single day we're getting about at least 10k steps every single day, and we're tracking all of that. So that's pretty much it for my nutrition. It hasn't been too many shifts. We made maybe 3 big changes to macros, and I may expect to see another change here come peak week, but that's pretty much it. That's kind of things that you can expect for nutrition wise. As your weight decreases or as your weight stalls, depending on how you're reacting to your macros, whether you're being coached or whether you're coaching yourself, just expect those macros to decrease in order to achieve that leanness and to drop that body fat and that overall weight. But as I mentioned, we started at 188 pounds on June 26th, and here it is now, Sunday, November 5th, and I weighed in at 166.7. So like I said, we've lost about 22 pounds since June, and we still have 2 weeks to go until show day. Alright, so moving on to my training, kind of just like so before I even get into training, prep is boring, right? Prep is not fun or exciting. The results are cool to see, but other than that, like the ins and outs, the mechanics of prep is boring. It's repetitive. It's the same things as far as eating. It's the same training, the same exercises over and 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 over again. And repetition, that in my mind, or the way I see it, repetition breeds consistency, and consistency breeds overall progress. And that's the goal, right? You have fun in the off season. You eat what you want pretty much in the off season. You train the way you want to train in the off season. But prep, you have to have some level of intention. You have to have some goal that you're working towards. So repetition and consistency is going to breed success, and it's going to breed progress. So training actually has been less boring this year than it was last year, mostly because my coach kind of let me choose my exercises this year, which I actually enjoyed. So we train 4 days a week. It's broken down into like a push day with chest, delts, calves, and abs. Then we have like a posterior day where we train like back and arms and hamstrings. Then we have another chest, tricep, calf, abs day, or another push day, and then we have legs and delts. This is broken up into 4 separate days, three rest days, and I kind of take my rest days interchangeably or how I see fit. Typically I train Monday, Tuesday, I rest Wednesday and Thursday, I train Friday and Saturday, and then I rest on Sundays. And I just found more success in resting 2 days in a row. I found that I recover a lot better that way. So I have that period within the week where I can rest 2 consecutive days in a row and then come back those next 2 days feeling a lot stronger. So to start things, when I started training, the exercise that I have now are pretty much the exercise that I've always had. So like on my push day or my first chest, delts, calves, and abs day, we start off with a standing calf raise. We got away from reps in reserve training. If you're not familiar with reps in reserves, it's pretty much you train to a certain point to where you feel you can only do a certain number of reps left. In the past, we would use RIR, and the way my mind works, RIR is not hard, but sometimes it's hard to really know when you're 3 reps away from failure or when you're 4 reps away from failure, and you may not always get the best results out of your training that way. So me and my coach kind of reassessed, and we kind of figured, like, me along with many other people, just training to muscle failure helps out a lot. So we decided to change our training kind of mid prep and kind of just shift more into that mentality. Like, you go in the gym, you bust your ass for 2 or 3 sets, and then the way we fit in fatigue management is we do a top set and then a back off set, and which all that really means is that you do a top set, so you go to a weight that you can push for a good amount of reps or whatever your rep range is, and that varies per exercise for us. I'll kind of break that down and go over that quickly too, but yeah, you use your top set as a kind of like a strength set, and then your back off set is more of a hypertrophy. I don't know why I can't say that right now. But yeah, your back off sets are more like your target or your goal is more like hypertrophy or to get that burn, right? So top set is more of a strength set, then your back off sets are for hypertrophy. So for example, for standing calf raise, our top set rep range was 10 to 15. So I was doing 130 pounds for my first set, my top set for about 14 reps. So I got within that 10 to 15 rep range. And then my back off sets were 100 pounds and then 80 pounds with the goal of getting 15 to 20. And we took that approach through all my exercises. So for my push day, we had standing calf raise, we had flat dumbbell press, we had the Smith machine incline press, we had behind the back cable lateral raises, and then we had the incline flies, and then we had a machine crunch. And that was my first push session. Moving on to my posterior session, we had seated hamstring curls, we had barbell stiff leg deadlifts or RDLs. We had a seated row. We had a bilateral lat pull down, which just means you're using both hands at once. We had a machine preacher curl, and then we had the unilateral single arm cable row. Like I said, some of these exercises changed. I think early on some of our accessory movements were a little bit different, and then we recently just changed them up. But the goal and the intent of the exercises were still the same, so the exercises were relatively the same thing. Then our next push session, we had standing calf raises again. We had low incline dumbbell presses. We had horizontal machine presses, unilateral overhead tricep extensions, and then tricep press down. And then we finished off with the hanging leg raises. And then for our last workout day for legs, we had the hack squats. We had leg press, we had belt squats, we had leg extensions, and then we also hit delts a little bit, doing those lying pulley side lateral raises, and then those pulley upright rows. I'm not going to go into depth on what each exercise is, how it looks. Maybe I'll do that in the future, but for now, that's what our training looked like. You gonna take Zelda with you or what? Zoe can say Zelda gotta go. What? What do you mean? Oh, my flannel? It's a jacket. It's not a jacket. It's definitely a jacket.
Okay, well, I watched this already.
I didn't say you didn't. I'm just saying. You really like it. I love my flannel. But it's a jacket. So before I get into the last portion of the video when we go over my check-in photos, I do want to give a big shout out to Madhouse Supplements. I am sponsored by Madhouse. Their supplements are absolutely amazing. I love them. Honestly, like it's hard to choose a good supplement, right? A lot of times your body gets used to the same supplement that you're using. Most supplements have the same kind of genetic profile or makeup. But I just love Madhouse Supplements because their one scooper pre-workout is a super powerful pre-workout matrix. It has 400 milligrams of caffeine in it, so you know, whenever I'm not drinking my coffee or in anticipation of me taking that pre-workout, I always look forward to the pumps. I'm always looking forward to using Madhouse supplements before I go to the gym, whether that's for cardio, whether that's for resistance training or what. The creatine is amazing. The one scoop pre-workout is awesome. The stem-free pre-workout is awesome. And then we're also coming out with the new protein powder. So I'll leave them in my description box. You can save 20% by using my discount code DukeFitness20. We have a cool clown as far as like our advertisement goes, like our mascot for the supplement, and I think it's a super cool approach. It's different, it's exciting, and kind of just looking at the overall branding kind of just gets you pumped up. So if you haven't checked out Madhouse Supplements, please try them out. Like I said, you can use my discount code DukeFitness20. You'll save 20% off your entire order. All right, so getting back into things, let's now, to kind of end the video, I kind of just want to go over some of my check-in photos. I think going over my check-in photos will kind of help tie in like the training and the nutrition together, and you can kind of see in real time how my body has changed and adjusted to some of the things that we've implemented as far as nutrition and training. So yeah, June 25th, 2023 is when we started. As you can see from my front shot, my back shots, I do have a good amount of muscle, especially our improvements from last year, but I'm obviously also holding on to a lot of fat. You can kind of still see some lines in the abs a little bit. You can kind of see I don't hold a lot of body fat like on my back and my delts, but my core and my chest is kind of where I hold a lot of my fat. So yeah, that was our starting point, like I said, back in June, and then we move on to July. I'm not going to go over week by week. That would take absolutely forever. I kind of just want to give you guys a general idea of how I looked and how my physique has changed over prep. So moving from June to July, you can see I'm starting to lose a little bit of that body fat, just a little bit. Kind of look pretty similar to what I did in June, but it's only been 4 weeks at this point. So as we all know, progress it happens over an extended period of time. It's not like an overnight thing. But July, you can see we started to make a little bit more progress here. Moving into August. So I took a diet break in August. That's when I went away for training for the military, so I didn't take any check-in photos. So skipping on to September of 2023, now you can really see some changes, right? Looking at September versus June, you see a lot of changes in my physique. Really starting to kind of, bring that core in. That core is kind of coming down a lot here. And the back pose is looking a lot better than it did back in June. That's how I looked in September. I actually think I look pretty good. Honestly, September is probably where I want to stay in my next off season. That September look is probably, where I want to be as far as the limit of my body fat percentage moving on to my next off season. So that's definitely something that I'll consider kind of moving on into this off season coming up next. And moving into October 28th of this year, you can really see the physique coming. My posing changed a lot since last year. My posing has gotten a lot better since last year. And you can really start to see my lines. You can really start to see everything kind of coming together here. late October. This is a really good look. Around this time last year, I did not look this good. I was a lot flatter, I was a lot smaller, and I just didn't have as much muscle. So that's exciting to see. Kind of looking back on my progress photos, but you can see the lines in the obliques coming in, a lot of lines in like the chest and the delt area. You can really start to see some of that vascularity in the delts, and the abdomen kind of starting to peek through a little bit. The waist is snatched, the waist is gone. We left with the waist back in 2022, looks like, which is really exciting, right? Like, obviously with men's physique, that's the goal: small waist, broad shoulders. And I think I really do bring that. And then looking at us from the back, man, that V-taper is nasty. I really do like my V-taper. I think I could bring my lower lats up a little bit more, but this isn't a video of me dissecting my physique. We can maybe do that another time, but we look really good right now. I think, with us being 2 weeks out, actually, let's go ahead and go to my last check-ins, which I took this morning, actually. Yeah, man, I look pretty good. The lines are there a lot more, especially in my legs. You can kind of see my lines a little bit better there. The obliques are popping, the abs are starting to pop. I do look a little bit flat, but that's to be expected. Me first waking up, me being fasted, but the shape is there, the structure is there, the conditioning is there. Peak week, we're really going to start to pull that water, probably a little bit more food for a couple of days, and then that carb up is really going to push those muscles up against that thin skin after we move that fat layer and really make this physique pop. I'm really happy about the physique that we brought. Looking from the back, the conditioning is there, the detail is there. Super exciting to see that. So I'm excited to actually see what we bring. My goal is to always improve year after year. I think that's the biggest goal of mine. You can't control who shows up to these shows. You can't control the judges' mentality. You can't control what the judges want or what the judges want to see. All you can really control is how your prep goes, the level of effort that you put into your own prep, and then how you show up to the show. The rest is pretty much out of your hands, man. You just got to give, whatever you believe in. Me, I'm a big believer in God. I'm not like a heavy religious person, but I am a believer of God. And, I know that life in general rewards hard work. And that's me. I'm a hard worker. So I know if I put the effort in, I know if I put the hard work in, my goals will be accomplished. And I think for me, my biggest goal is just being better every single time I step on stage. Year after year, whether I compete once a year, whether I compete once every 5 years, my goal is to just always be better once I step on stage again. So that's the goal this year. If I was to be realistic and to have like a tangible goal, I would love to place top 5 in the overall. I think my goal is to win my class and then place top 5 in the overall. This is my very first national show. It is a natural show, so I do expect the competition to be a lot. I expect there to be a lot more competition at this show than at my last show. This being the biggest natural show, I think, in the NPC. In order for me to get my pro card as a natural athlete, I have to win the entire show, the entire amateur show. So obviously that's a goal, that's a challenge for sure. Just with it being my first show, or my first national show, I think, winning my class and placing the overall is my goal. Obviously no one shows up to lose. So I expect everyone to show up with their best packages, and I think that's what motivates me a little bit more, and that's what really pushes me to be the best version of myself as a bodybuilder. So I'm super excited, man. 2 weeks out, we got this next week coming up, and then we got peak week, and then it's showtime. I'm excited to get on stage. I'm excited to show how much better my posing has gotten. I'm excited to show my level of confidence and my overall physique. So I really do appreciate you guys for tuning into this video. I love you guys so much. Like, me being able to come up here and kind of just talk and share my experiences with, the 300, 400 of you all. I really appreciate it, man. Like, the YouTube thing for me is like a really good outlet for me to kind of, express myself. And then hopefully, like, you, whoever's watching this, and other people, you can just learn from my own experiences and then have your own experiences as well. The goal has never been to like go viral. The goal has never been to like, I don't know, monetize at all from YouTube. The goal has always been to just build like a really cool community and just help educate, you know, beginners and even intermediate people or anyone who's just interested in bodybuilding, just to kind of just help you all and educate you all on like how my I guess career in bodybuilding is going and how things are as far as like prep and training and things like that. So I really do appreciate you guys for tuning into this video. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like, leave comments. That supports me and helps my channel grow a little bit more, get that outreach out there. Like I said, if you haven't already, please do check out Madhouse supplements. I love their supplements. I use their supplements every single day, whether it's the creatine or some of the pre-workouts. Like I said, we are dropping a protein powder soon here in the next upcoming week, so please stay tuned for that. And if you do order something from Madhouse, do not forget to use my discount code DukeFitness20 to get yourself 20% off. Thank you all for stopping by. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Happy fucking Monday. The way I look at it, man, Monday is the first day of the week that we actually get to attack our goals. So don't let this Monday get you down. Don't let, you know, that mentality sink in where it's like, oh my God, it's Monday. It's time to start the week all over again. Look at it as like, hey, this is the first day that I get to dedicate to my goals. If I set the standard in the beginning of the week, the rest of the week would just flow right into place. So I love you guys and girls. I love you all. Thank you all for tuning into my YouTube channel, and I hope to see you in the next video.